So there's a moment in Some Kind of Monster when James Hetfield walks back in the studio after disappearing into rehab. He's thinner, he's quieter. He looks the band in the eye for maybe the first time in years. And in that silence, you could feel it. It's the weight of survival, the price of slowing down, the awkward, painful work of becoming human again after decades of being a god on stage.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Fear was a big motivator.
This is Sunday Service, and today we're going to talk about James Hetfield. His addiction, his recovery, and the battle to stay balanced, while fronting the most pressure-packed band in metal history. So from the outside, Hetfield always looked like a machine. The fastest down picker alive, commanding crowds of 80,000 people like it was second nature. But behind all that was pain. There was fear, shame, and he also had a lifelong battle with alcohol and emotional repression that started long before Metallica ever hit the tape.
Do you miss it?
Well, if I want to miss it, if I feed the dog that says, "This was so great, remember this?" Or if I feed the dog that says, "Dude, look how great your life is right now."
His parents were Christian Scientists, and not the Christmas Easter type. They were the no doctors, no medicine, just prayer kind. His mother died of cancer because she wouldn't seek treatment. He was 16. His father left soon after that, and he was abandoned emotionally, physically. And the one thing he learned from all that was simple. Don't talk. Don't feel. Don't show weakness. Just keep playing. And that's what he did. It's exactly what he did through the early days, through Cliff's death, through Fame, through Load, Reload, Napster, all of it. Booze became the armor.
Metallica lived like they played, fast, loud, and totally out of control. Booze was everywhere, and it wasn't long before the band earned the nickname Alcoholica. The early days were a blur of beer runs, late nights, and hangovers. Hetfield practically had a Jägermeister bottle glued to his hand.
Anger became the fuel, and Metallica became a warship powered by resentment and silence. Then came 2001, though, and Hetfield walked away mid-album.
Even last night, I got to tell you, everybody kind of looked, I hate to tell you, looked pretty burnt.
I agree. And if we don't start earlier and end earlier, I'm not going to be in a good mood for the rest of this shit.
Mid-session, mid-breakdown. He checked into rehab and just disappeared. Not as a stunt, not as a headline. Because if he didn't, he might not have made it. He might not have made it back at all. So that rehab stay changed everything. It wasn't just about getting sober. It was about breaking 40 years of silence for the first time. He had to face himself. He had to face his pain, his control issues, his fear of vulnerability. He had to say things like, I need space. I don't feel safe. I'm not ready to talk about that. And that sounds simple. And I know some of you out there are mocking this, but it does sound simple. But for someone who's only ever known volume and anger, it's fucking terrifying. But James did the work. He came back, not just to the band, but to his life. People forget that. He became a father again, a bandmate again, and maybe for the first time, a whole person. But here's the truth. The work never ends. Because in 2019, after years of sobriety, Hetfield went back to rehab. Quietly, privately, no press. And that's recovery. Because recovery is not a finish line, it's a path, a daily practice. And it takes guts to walk it again. When he came back on stage in 2020, there was no big speech, no dramatic announcement, just James Hetfield, just his guitar, just his mic, and the will to keep going. He talked about fear, about anxiety, about being uncomfortable in his own skin.
I know darkness. I know everyone here knows darkness.
Even after decades on top, this man was uncomfortable in his own skin, and that's honesty. And that honesty matters because for every Metallica fan in an arena, there's someone at home wrestling with their own demons, their own addiction, their own trauma, their own silence. And maybe they see James Hetfield not as a god, but as a man who's learning how to survive. And that means something. It means something. It really does. If you're struggling with addiction, grief, or emotional pain, you're not alone. Do me a favor. You could check out my podcast, Your Crisis Coach, with the great Scott H. Silverman and myself. It's on a different channel. You can find it, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We talk about recovery. We share real tools. We remind you there's always a way back. We talk about the hard to talk about. And I'm Fred Carroll, 2 D's, 2 R's, 2 L's. And this was Sunday Service with James Hetfield.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Fear was a big motivator in that for me. You know, losing my family was the thing that scared me so much. That was the bottom I hit, that my family's going to go away because of my behaviors that I brought home from the road. I got kicked out of the house by my wife. I was living on my own somewhere, and I did not want that. And maybe as part of my upbringing, my family kind of disintegrated when I was a kid. Father left, mother passed away. I lived with my brother, and then kind of just all like the family. Where'd my stuff go? Where it just kind of floated away. And I do not want that happening. No matter what's going on, we're going to talk this stuff out and make it work. And my wife's of the same idea, same thought that, her family, she was the invisible kid too, so we relate a lot. So there's no way we're going to let, any argument get in the way, or just, we're survivors. We're survivors, and we're gonna talk through it no matter how much. And, she did the right thing. She kicked my ass right the hell out of the house, and that scared the shit out of me. So, and she said, hey, you're not just going to the therapist now. You're just not just talking about this. You got to go somewhere and sort this shit out. So that's what I did. So rehab really worked for me.
Who walked through fire and still found his voice. So can you. Stay strong, stay loud.